Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a topic that usually causes a whole lot of stress, a broken HVAC system, and we're going to transform it into an empowering step-by-step homeowner survival guide. Let's turn up the dial on our HVAC knowledge, looking specifically at the really unique climate challenges and system requirements that homeowners face right here in Springfield and the Middle Tennessee area.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with Springfield's unique climate challenges, move on to common home HVAC problems, look at the three-step service process, navigate replacement costs, and finally, tackle the replace versus replace dilemma. Basically, we're going to start by looking at the environmental why before moving to the financial how much, so you can make a truly informed decision.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this. It's a 95-degree day and your AC just completely fails. Or maybe you're hit with a sudden, brutal winter freeze. Why exactly do Springfield systems seem to struggle and break down so much more often than those in milder climates? Well, as you'll see, it is definitely not just bad luck.
Section 1. Springfield's unique climate challenges, the environmental villains.
To really understand why these systems fail, we have to look at what's attacking them from the outside. First up, we've got that heavy, high summer humidity between May and September. It literally forces your AC to work overtime just to pull the moisture out of the air, and that really shortens the life of your compressor. Then, you've got this expanding Robertson County clay soil that shifts around and causes hidden air leaks by actually disconnecting your ductwork. Throw in extreme winter freeze-thaw cycles that wear out capacitors and motors, and wow, you have an environment that is just uniquely hostile to your climate control equipment.
Moving right along to Section 2, Common Home HVAC Problems, breaking down the tech.
So, how do those environmental villains actually translate into mechanical issues inside your house? Well, first off, having a properly sized system is absolutely crucial. If your system is undersized, it's going to run constantly without ever reaching the right temperature, meaning it's going to fail early. On the flip side, oversized systems, short cycle. They turn on and off way too quickly, leaving your home feeling super clammy because they just don't run long enough to pull that heavy Tennessee humidity out of the air. Now, take a look at the 3-minute rule right here. This is so important. Your AC needs a minimum 3-minute wait between cycles to let the refrigerant pressure equalize. This vital pause protects your compressor from starting against super high pressure and overheating the motor. If a malfunctioning, oversized unit keeps cycling off and on without waiting those 3 full minutes, well, it is doing massive damage to its most expensive parts. Beyond the sizing issues, these are the most common emergency repairs we see. You've got capacitor failures from all that extreme temperature cycling and refrigerant leaks because that shifting clay soil settles and literally pulls on the lines. Plus, we see a ton of clogged condensation drains just from pulling all that intense humidity out of the air. Not to mention ductwork getting disconnected in attics and crawl spaces. And it's incredibly frustrating, right? Because a lot of this comes down to deferred maintenance. People put off a simple checkup, and it turns into a completely avoidable, incredibly expensive summer breakdown.
Section 3. The 3-step service process. What to expect.
Look, if you do experience a breakdown, knowing exactly how the pros handle it can really take the edge off your anxiety. It's a straightforward 3-step methodology. First, you call for service to figure out the urgency. Second, there's an on-site diagnosis and repair, complete with upfront pricing. And third, they do thorough testing and follow-up to make absolutely sure your home is actually heating or cooling properly before the technician ever leaves. This process ensures they arrive with the right parts and get most repairs done on the very first visit.
Section 4, Navigating HVAC Replacement Costs, Visualizing the Financials.
All right, let's tackle the part that causes the most anxiety for literally any homeowner, the costs. Let's look at the numbers. Minor repairs like swapping out a capacitor are relatively manageable. You're usually looking at somewhere between $150 and $300. But on the other hand, replacing a compressor, that's a huge investment, ranging from $1,200 all the way up to $2,800. And keep in mind, standard homeowners insurance usually doesn't cover these normal wear and tear failures. They typically only kick in if a specific event, like a lightning strike, takes out your unit.
Now, what if you need a complete replacement? Well, factors like your home's square footage, the condition of your ductwork, and the SEER rating, which is the efficiency of the unit, are going to heavily dictate your final price tag. To put that into perspective, a complete system for a 2,000 square foot home might run you between $6,000 and $10,000. But a 4,000 square foot home, you might need multiple units, pushing that cost anywhere from $10,000 up to $18,000. And when you're deciding on efficiency, an 18-plus SEER variable speed unit will definitely cost you more upfront than a basic 14 SEER entry-level unit, but it's going to handle those wild Middle Tennessee weather swings so much better.
Here's a bit of an insider secret for you. The absolute best time to buy? It's the off-season, right between November and March. Planning your replacement then gets you the absolute best pricing and helps you avoid those dreaded desperation purchases. Because let's face it, when the weather is mild, contractors have lighter schedules, and you aren't paying a crazy premium just to survive a July heat wave.
So here's a crucial number you need to remember: 12 to 15. That is the average lifespan in years of an HVAC system in Springfield. The constant humidity and heavy usage really accelerate that wear and tear. If your system is creeping into this age bracket, you really need to be strategic about where you're putting your money. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the repair versus replace dilemma, the ultimate homeowner decision.
This is where the $5,000 rule comes in, and it's brilliant. It gives you a concrete mathematical answer to exactly when you should stop throwing money at a failing unit. Here's how it works. You just multiply the repair costs by the age of your system in years. Let's say you have a 10-year-old system with a $600 repair bill. 10 times 600 is $6,000. Since that's over $5,000, investing in a new system is definitively the better financial choice, especially when you realize a brand new, high-efficiency system could cut your monthly energy bills by 20 to 40%.
So, what does this all mean for you? As you evaluate your own home's climate control, you have to ask yourself, are you just throwing money at Band-Aid fixes on a 15-year-old unit? Or are you actually protecting your investment and long-term comfort? Is your current maintenance strategy just delaying the inevitable? Go ahead and take a look at your system's exact age this week, run the numbers through that $5,000 rule, and really take control of your climate. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, stay cool out there.